Okay, this is another little yarn from out on the front porch. Let's talk. First I want to say happy Valentine's Day to all the pretty ladies out there. I want to talk about the 15th of February. I've got a little thing written down here I'm going to read, and then maybe we can talk about it a little bit. Well, I just thought I might mention here along the mid-Atlantic states on February the 15th is kind of a magic moment. It's the time of year when you tend to want to settle back in an easy chair to read a sea adventure or maybe a book of book plans or pore over charts. Maybe it's a wooden boat magazine. You might want to think about hauling and painting, replacing a shroud or two. A month ago when you went outside, even on a sunny day, it chilled to the bone. 2 weeks go by, it's the middle of the day of February, you step off the porch. The temperature is 28. A gust of cold, sharp wind finds you. It's the great north wind and it makes you shiver. And turn away from the cold north wind. You have caught a faint whiff of copper bottom paint, tar and varnish. There is heard the ring of wooden hammers on wooden planks, the caulking of newly built winter boat building. The crabbers and fishermen are early readying their boats. It's a good sign. Suddenly there's much to be done. There is only another 30 days until the powerful cold north wind succeeds to the gentle breezes from the south. Southerly zephyrs signal the geese to be on their way. It's time to sharpen the scrapers, wash the motor oil out of the brushes that have so preserved them through the long winter. It's the final weeks after mid-March to ready the boat for the blessing of the fleet on the first Sunday of April. During the month of March, we all work long days and then huddle by campfire talking boats, repairs, and the sailings to come. We sip our hot buttered rum and vent our anger at the bygone winter. In the evening fireplace, the harpsichord strikes up a tune and we all join in to sing a little song of joy to spring and the pleasures of owning boats. The end. Now, this is the story of my home in Dundalk as a boy and as a young man growing up. Of course, we didn't sit out on the front porch in the winter time in the middle of February. But we often talked of such things and thought of such things. And it was a book I read every winter, and I still read it. Tomorrow I will start reading it again. And its title is Learning to Sail by H.A. Callahan. It was written about 1936. It's been my Bible ever since the first time I read it, and I read it every year. As you can see, it's tattered and worn, wrapped in tape to hold the cover together. But it's a great book on how to sailing. It teaches you a feeling for sailing and talks about watermen sailing their boats up the river, setting the sails, getting off the boat into their rowboat and rowing over to work their trot lines while the boat slowly drifts downstream, fighting its way to windward to slow her down. And when you finish the trot line at the end, she's just behind you coming down the river. Row out, climb aboard, and sail off to your next trot line somewhere. So it's a kind of a feeling about the boat has its own spirit kind of thing. The wonder of plank boats. How in the world they keep from sinking with nothing but cotton and tar pounded into their seams. And for me it's romance. And it's the romance of spring that I observe every year and have ever since the first time I read this book. It was given to me by Captain Timms, and I read the book probably about 1954, and I've been reading it ever since. I love this little book. My boat is sitting down at Mob Jack Marina on the North River, tied up to the dock, and she's ready for some painting. She's ready for some work inside. I need to set up my ham radio so I can sail off into a creek somewhere and sit and talk to people on the radio. The old engine in there is an old Volvo. Whoop, 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 whoop. And I love the old boat. I love the old engine. Another summer is nigh. I got my boat to paint. Got a lot of work to do on it. But I want to get it done by the first Sunday in April if I can. That's when they have the blessing and fleet. Preacher comes down, we all sail out and anchor there, and he stands on the back of a big old power boat and he blesses the fleet. Well, I don't know how many of the sailors are really Christians, but when you're out there sailing and the wind is blowing and the waves are blowing over the bow and it's rougher than it can be, and you have a certain confidence that maybe you've been blessed. Well, anyway, it's a great time of the year. You can feel the difference in the air, and so I'm looking forward to maybe the middle of March when I'll start to work on my boat. Probably a couple of weeks of painting and cleaning and scraping and all of that. Probably maybe I'll have somebody dive over and scrub the bottom for me. But I'm looking forward to this summer. There's a lot of sailing to be done. I didn't sail last year for one reason or another, but this year's going to be different. I'm going to get my boat fixed. I'm going to go do a lot of sailing. Got a video camera. I'm going to take a lot of videos while I'm doing it. Places we stop in and visit and all that sort of thing. I have vowed not to plant a garden this year because I don't want anything to interfere with my sailing. And tomatoes and peppers will have to be bought at the grocery store, I guess. Anyway, I plan to eat a lot of them on a sailboat. So, this is bound to be a good year. 2019. It'll be one I remember, I'm sure. I want to sail up into Maryland, into some of the places that I hung out when I was a boy sailing. I want to go back to my hometown, sail up into the Bear Creek there, and enjoy that. So there's a lot to be looked back on, there's a lot to be looked forward on. And I'm planning on doing both. So anyway, you all have a good time this weekend, and think about you're right around the corner from better weather. Okie doke. Bye now, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button when you finish watching this. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Bye bye.